How do this be looking? My dog stepped on a bee. That's the angle test. Now I know what you're saying. Could you have worn a more wrinkly shirt, Denny? Yeah, I could have. What is up, guys? DenDenBMX here in my new office. Just kidding. This is not. I'm house sitting right now, like every good stay-at-home stepdad does from time to time. I'm just borrowing this space to make this video. Sorry if it's a little echoey. Maybe that'll help make me sound more regal or like I have more authority. But any hooser, a couple months ago, I made a video about a particular Balisong called the Nabalis Parallelogram, but it was one of the most affordable Balisongs on Amazon that also like flipped really well, so I made a review and demo about that, and I did quite enjoy that Balisong for what it was. That, for the price that it comes at, it's a pretty dang good product, and there were some things that I would have liked to see changed on that Balisong, like switching from tang pins to Zen pins, making it latchless right off the box, maybe having it come pre-Loctited, maybe instead of bearings, switch to bushings. And now I'm not the only person who's ever talked about Nabalis Balisongs. They're pretty popular, and a lot of people who have reviewed them have said similar things about them, and Nabalis has listened. And they took all that constructive criticism and created a brand new Balisong, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the best Balisong that you can buy on not on Instagram, on Amazon. Now you may have already seen a couple people talk about this Balisong, but I was a little late to the party because Nabalis actually emailed me a couple weeks back, but I never got back to them because I think it went into my spam folder and I just didn't check it. But they ended up messaging me on Instagram as well, and they wanted to know if they could send me this brand new Balisong that they've been working on. Obviously I said no. So this is the brand new Morse from Nabalis. Now, some of you might see that little includes paid promotion thing and be like, Denny, are they paying you to make this video? No, that's not the case. I kind of wish it was. But they did send me this Balisong for free in exchange for a proper review and demo of it, which is what I'm going to give it. But technically, this Balisong counts as payment, which is why I have to put the includes paid promotion thing up there. Because if I don't, Uncle Sam is going to set my pubes on fire. Now, before we get into the real deal of this video and get all sweaty with this new Balisong, I just want to say, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, I would really, really appreciate it if you let me know and help the engagement on this video and help support the channel by leaving a like, leaving a comment, giving me your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already and hitting that bell notification. And there's also a channel membership for those of you who really enjoy this channel and really want to help support it. But it's not like you'd just be throwing money at me. You'd also get access to exclusive content that no one else gets to see. One of the videos you would get if you join the membership is a unboxing and first impressions of this Balisong and some other perks based off what tier you choose. One of them being shoutouts like these guys are getting. Shout out to Demano21, Cosmic Steez, and Modern Balisongs. You guys make my heart happy. In all seriousness though, any support is very helpful, but the membership is by far the most helpful. But if that is too much of a commitment, there's also that new super thanks button down there. It's got like a heart and it says thanks. You can leave like a little tip if you feel so inclined. No pressure at all. It's just those are the best ways to help support this channel if you're down to do that. But anyway, I'm done being a tool. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX. Okay, now I'm done. Now let's actually talk about the Morse. Now, Nabalis Balisongs were a little bit unique. Not only in the fact that they were really affordable, they were pretty unique designs. They were like stainless steel liners with G10 scales. The Morse is an aluminum channel handle Balisong, which is a very common type of Balisong in the Balisong ether. Once people started making aluminum channel Balisongs, that kind of exploded. Now everybody and their grandmother does it. And Nabalis has joined the party, but they did it in their own unique way. These are 6061 aluminum channel handles, aircraft grade aluminum. It's nice stuff. It's not 7000 series aluminum, but 6061 is perfectly fine, especially in the price point that these things are going for. It is pretty damn sweet. And now in their other Balisongs, they use bearings. This uses a bushing system, and it's a pretty dang fine-tuned bushing system too. When I first got it, it had 0 play and 0 tap. Right now, after breaking it in a little bit, it does have just a little smidge of play, but it still does not have any tap whatsoever, which is pretty damn sweet, once again, especially for the price that these things are going for. Now those bushings are guiding, some bronze phosphorus washers, and a pivot system that, from my impressions, seems to be a pretty decent set of pivots. And another thing that it has is press fit Zen pins now instead of tang pins. Tang pins, especially in cheaper Balisongs, tend to just get smushed in over time, but Zen pins seem to be a little bit more durable if they are done right. And so far, I believe these are done pretty dang well. The handle gap on this thing has not closed at all in the open or the closed position in the time that I've had it. Now you might be saying, Denny, you just said you didn't even have it that long. And that's true. I also didn't have my Triton very long before it started clapping its own cheeks. Now moving on to the blade, the trainer blade of this thing. It does have a bite handle indicator, which is a good thing. I do enjoy when trainer Balisongs have a bite handle indicator. I think that is important, especially if you are going to at some point transition into using a live blade. Since it's sold on Amazon, I believe trainer blades need to have like some sort of purpose or give it like some sort of function. And with Nabalis' other Balisongs, they like went crazy with it. But this time they just kind of took one out of BB Barfly's book and snuck a little bottle opener right in there, which is always a nice, fun little quirky feature. And I also really like the Zen Pin Tang design on this Balisong. It's nice and rounded and not very pinchable. If you actually flip, you know that that's actually the worst part about flipping. It's not getting cut, it's getting pinched. That sucks. Other things that I like about this design is this little grip pattern that they have on the sides. It's very basic, but it is pretty effective. Now here's the proper sound test for this thing. So as you can hear, this thing does sound pretty dang nutty. And this doesn't have a whole lot of oil in it. I haven't oiled it since I got it. And I'm sure throwing in your favorite kind of oil into this thing will make it sound even more nuts. Now, the one big question you guys probably have is, how much does this thing cost? And it's a little interesting that you asked. Now, the appeal for the other Nabalis Balisongs was that they were really affordable, but still pretty good flippers once you set them up properly. Like the G10 series, they're all around $27. And then they have some even cheaper one that I haven't tried out. But they really stepped up their game with this Balisong. And while it is not gonna be another $27 Balisong, that would be insane if they sold this for 27 bucks. But this Balisong, the Nabalis Morse, it retails for about 75 bucks, I believe, which is a little bit more expensive than what I think people would be expecting a Nabalis Balisong to be. But still, this is probably one of, if not the best Balisong that you can get right now for under $100. That's very easily accessible because they sell them on Amazon and they're like always in stock. Like for under 100 bucks, you're getting a Balisong that can compete with other aluminum handled Balisongs that go for like well over 150, which I think is pretty dang cool. Now, what do I not like about this Balisong? Well, it's red. I don't like that. Brandon over at Will Hirsch probably likes that, but I don't. I mean, it's okay. But I think the only real gripe I have with this Balisong is going to be the same one that I have with kind of every aluminum handled Balisong trainer, is that it's a little slippery. I really do think aluminum is a great and affordable metal to make Balisongs out of, but I think if you are going to make an aluminum handled Balisong, you can't have just a clean, flat surface of aluminum with nothing on it, like with no texturing or no design into it, because then it's just too slippery and it just flies right out of your hands. I really think that the next overall improvement that everyone who makes aluminum handled Balisongs should start making is make sure to actually texturize this part of the handle. Like give it some jimping or put another cool design in there. I'm sure people can get super creative with adding some kind of texture onto the back of the handles, because that is always usually the most slippery part of an aluminum handled Balisong. And then also continuing to add grip to the surfaces of the handles is always a great thing, which kind of sucks because I really do like the clean look of just flat aluminum with a nice ano over it, but it's just too slippery and it does need some kind of texturing or design over it, which is kind of the next step that a lot of these aluminum handled Balisong manufacturers are taking. And it's not like this is the most slippery one in the world. It's just, again, the back of the handles is just flat and it does kind of make it a little slippery. But I think if Nabalis were to add jimping or something like that onto the sides of this handles, I think that would make a massive improvement. But I have yapped on far too long. Let's go flip this thing. All right, gang. So how does she flip? It's pretty nice. Like within this thing's price point, it's definitely one of, if not the best flippers. This thing flips so good. Like right off the bat, really the only complaint I have about the flippability of this Balisong is just that aluminum's slippery. It's not even really the Balisong's fault. It's just like a byproduct of it being an aluminum Balisong and them not having a whole lot of grip on the backs of the handles. That's like literally the only thing I don't like about this thing. Everything else about the flippability of this thing, I really like. I feel like the handle texturing and design that is there on the sides of the handles really does help with the grip. Really, I only notice it being really slippery is when I'm doing stuff like ladders. Sometimes or like rollovers like that. Sometimes it just wants to fly out of your hands off into the stratosphere, but other than that, this thing does flip really well. It is very well balanced. Pretty much every single trick that I know how to do, I can do on this Balisong with relative ease as long as it doesn't slip out of my hands. I really do enjoy how fans feel on this Balisong, even though it is a little slippery and you gotta grip a little bit harder. Ladders feel pretty good. Again, as long as it doesn't slip out of your hands. All these little transfers and stuff, they all feel really good. They all these little like rollovers and twirls. They all feel really good. What are they called? Parabolic aerials. They're pretty nice on this thing. Ooh. Sometimes if you don't do the parabolic just right, it is like just handle biased enough to where it kind of just like spazzes out. But usually most of the time you can get a pretty solid parabolic out of it. Scissors feel good. I mean, even though you're grabbing like one of the slipperier parts of the Balisong, they still feel good. And the overall fit and finish of this Balisong is really nice. All the edges are really smooth and rounded. I don't think I've pinched myself once with this Balisong, which can't be said for a lot of them. Ooh. Oh, I'm a little Hirsch. Oh. Yeah, everything feels pretty dang good on this Balisong. And for the price point that it comes at, I'm really impressed. For the flippability and the quality of it, for being under $100, I think that does really bode well and is a good sign. Like, yeah, it kind of is a bummer that it's a bit of a price hike compared to Nabalis' other Balisongs, but I think it's still acceptable, and especially compared to the price of other aluminum handled Balisongs, this thing is pretty dang sweet. It's a really good deal. I really like this thing. Ooh. Yeah, this thing feels really good to flip. I really am gonna go out on a limb here and say that this right now is the best Balisong that you can get in the sub $100 category. Because like I said, this thing could compete with like $150, $200 Balisongs pretty easily in terms of flippability and quality. And this Balisong does give me quite a bit of hope for the future of the Balisong market, because I know lately it's looking pretty goofy, because that is one of the biggest problems about getting into Balisong flipping, is just that there's such this huge price gap between affordability and quality and flippability. Like, yeah, there are cheap Balisongs that flip good, but they usually have some kind of caveat. Like, not every kind of flipping style feels good on them, and like some tricks don't really work, or it could even be that they just don't last very long. I think this thing is gonna be pretty dang durable, and it flips great, and it's a pretty simple, basic design that's balanced well, that's made of nice quality materials, and set up really well with a nice fit and finish for under $100, which is bonkers and kind of unheard of in the Balisong community. Also, its availability is kind of unheard of because it's sold on Amazon, which can pretty much ship to anywhere in the world. And since it's a trainer, it should be legal everywhere. And it's gonna be in stock a hell of a lot more often than a majority of other Balisongs that are out right now. And I think this Balisong is a really good sign for the future of affordable Balisongs that flip well. All right, back to the office with our closing thoughts. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the video is that when you order this Balisong, bless you. When you order this Balisong, it doesn't just come with the Balisong. You also get a nice bunch of useful accessories that usually doesn't come with a bunch of other Balisongs, such as a torque screw to use for the pivots, spare parts like extra pivots and washers, which almost never comes with a lot of Balisongs, a very nice in-depth little instruction manual that teaches you how to maintain and work on this Balisong, and they even give you some thread locker to lock everything up once you've got it all nice and dialed. Just a few more things that add a little bit more bang for buck on this product, which I really think is one of, if not the best deal going on in Balisongs right now. I know that's kind of that may be a little bit of a hot take, but from what I've seen, that seems to be the case. So I think that's gonna wrap up today's video of us talking about the brand new Nabalis Morse. I'm excited to see what Nabalis comes up with in the future. But yeah, overall, I think this is a damn good Balisong for the price, and I think it is a really good sign for the future of the marketplace of Balisongs when it comes to affordability and performance, because this is definitely a big step towards closing that gap and making Balisongs that flip well a lot more accessible and affordable for the general population. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like and a comment, share the video, make sure you're subscribed, all that fun stuff. And if you really do enjoy this channel and want to really help support it, joining a membership or even hitting that little thanks button is by far the best way to do that. So yeah, thank you guys once again so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.